Yo, what's up everyone? It's me again, back with a final Boneshatter update video. So yeah, in this video, I just wanted to quickly run like a T17 map. We'll just run this one. And then I wanted to just quickly like give a summary of the build, as I think what I have is pretty close to optimal. This build has 14 million damaged overall, when combined with the merc as well. And yeah, that's like the most DPS I've ever had on a Boneshatter build. So just want to quickly do like a final update and just talk about all the gear, the tree, all of that kind of stuff. At this point I've done like around 20 T17s, so the build's definitely T17 viable. I think my success rate in T17s is something like 90%. Sometimes you do just lose to some ridiculous T17 nonsense. I do think T17s are still, you know, not good content. I wish they would be changed, especially just the mod pool. Like, re-rolling T17s continues to be a cancer of this game, but it'll be fixed in PoE 2, right? Anyway, T17 viable. I was able to clear all content with this build. I did Beard, I did all the bosses and stuff, all the new bosses I did. So I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for like a League starter or even like a second character to do like, you know, endgame content. I did clear one Uber as well. I did beat Uber Eater. But that was the only one that I tried. Oh, I also tried Uber Elder, but I lost, mostly because of my own lack of mechanical skill. But I did beat one Uber, so 1 out of 7. Uber viable, I guess. So yeah, if you're looking for an Uber farmer, I think this build is not ideal because the damage is just a bit low for Ubers. But like for T17s, I think it's pretty good. As you can see, the gameplay is pretty good. Things die when you hit them. And the defenses also turned out to be a lot better than I thought. I originally was worried this build was going to be like really squishy, but I found a way to build it that it also has defense while also maintaining offense. So we're going to talk about like everything after I run this map. But yeah, so as you can see, the T17 mapping itself, pretty straightforward. You know, nothing too difficult. I'm playing like kind of safe right now, but like you can play a little more risky and it's totally fine. But I want to like not die for this video, so yeah, there's the map. Now I'll just do the boss. So I think on this build, you press Berserk at like 30 rage, and it like works out. Not a big fan of this boss. Kind of annoying. It's also not fun doing this on melee at all. Kind of annoying. Can't see shit. Also, the mercenary has the same color as the circle wave, so I literally cannot see like where the wave is sometimes. It's kind of fucked up, so I might just run into one and die and be salty. Yeah, usually I do these with like shrines and packed with energy. Yeah, I just can't see it. Like, I don't know why the merc's the same color as the wave. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, I usually do this with like shrines and packed with energy, so it's like a little bit better. But even without, as you can see, completely fine.
Impressive, but futile.
I think there's also some really bad mods on this map.
You will know pain.
But no issue. As you can see, the damage is pretty reasonable. I don't know why my Berserk is like off. Yep, as you can see, no issue. Yeah, visual clarity in this game has never been great, but yeah, what was on this map? Okay, so this map was 63 monster damage reduction, vulnerability, 75% less effective curses, 75% reduced effective non-curse auras, which is so bad because pride is like my main damage. So as you can see, a completely terrible map, but I'm still able to take it down. So yeah, you know, I think that vouches for the efficacy of the build. Do I have any Ubers? Not yet. Okay, whatever. So yeah, that's basically the build. On like Shaper DPS, the build has 14 mil. So yeah, I guess we can just quickly get started and just talk about just a high level overview of the entire build. So I guess we can first just talk about the merc. So I'm using Infamous Striker. I think this is the optimal Infamous Striker because this one has Maim, Vulnerability, Determination, and Vitality. I've seen a couple other strikers, but I haven't seen one that was this good that had like 4 things that benefited you. So I think like this merc is optimal for this character. The Determination is especially good and is the most important thing because it allows you to run Pride, and Pride gives you a large amount of damage. And then as for the gear, it's basically the same as my last video. Just Perquil's Toe for lucky hits, Intimidate on the belt, Culling Strike on the glove, and then just nearby enemies take 9% increased damage on the helmet. Some Doeter's rings for enabling the vulnerability, and then yeah, that's basically it. So then jumping into the POB. So this is a real POB of my character. I imported this like right before the video, so just want to give like a quick high level rundown of this. So yep, Boneshatter, Berserker, 14 million Shaper DPS, as you can see here. And this is not including buffs. So like if I turn on Berserk, you can see, where is Berserk? If I turn on Berserk, it goes from 14 mil to 19 mil. So that's pretty big. And then if I turn on the War Banner as well in here, it goes from 14 mil to like 17 mil. So if all the buffs are up, you can have like sustained 20 million damage for like a good, maybe even 10 seconds for as long as the rage is active. So yeah, pretty good. The damage definitely far exceeded my expectations. And then for the merc config, it's just this Maim, helmet stuff, lucky, intimidate, additional curse, and then culling strike. And the additional curse I am POBing by doing vulnerability here. So yeah. So yeah, going into the POB, the damage is pretty straightforward. Damage is pretty self-explanatory. Just hit with Boneshatter. Yep, that's basically it. Yeah, and then defenses is like pretty decent as well. We have like 4.6k life. Could be more if I leveled up more and took more life nodes or had more life on the tree. So that's whatever. And then the recovery is like 2.6k. The exact mechanics of the recovery is like, here you have leech. It's like 138 instant leech, which directly offsets trauma. And then it's also, yeah, and then it's also what is the leech per second? Is it really 4,000 leech per second? Oh no, it's 1802 leech per second. So it's enough. It definitely does sustain like perfectly. I even tested it out by like using southbound gloves and it does sustain. I should probably put determination in here because the merc is giving determination. Okay. So like with the merc determination, we have like over 50k armor because the merc has aura effect on his chest as well. So yeah, this is like 50k armor, 4 endurance charges, a good amount of recovery, fortify, PDR on the chest as well, and 81 fire res, 79 everything else, and then 50 chaos res as well. So the defenses is like good enough in my opinion. If you want to do T17s, I think it's good enough. Yeah. If you want to do like Ubers, maybe you would want a little more, but then you'd probably just play a different build. So yeah, and then the tree is pretty self-explanatory as well. This is just, Boneshatter Berserker, you take Resolute Technique, you take the Rage stuff, you take the Axe stuff, two-handed stuff, max res, one mana reservation efficiency thing is all we need to run Pride, Flesh and Stone, and Arctic Armor. And then it's just life, pretty straightforward. The only masteries that I swap are like this one. If I'm like doing an Uber boss, you can swap the Destroy for like 10% more damage on low life. But I think Destroy is just really good overall. And then this attack mastery, if you're doing like Expedition, or you have a T17 that's like monsters block your attacks, so you can use this. If you're not doing Expedition, you can just do like additional enemy, which in conjunction with your glove implicit will give you 2 additional strikes, which is really good for clear. But like I'm doing Expedition right now, so I just have cannot block. So those are like basically the only 2 that I ever swap. Everything else is pretty straightforward. Yeah, not much to say. And then for the anointment, I anoint Berserking. And this is as I did in my guide before. This Berserking notable is just a really big chunk of DPS because the Rage scales like everything, right? Damage, attack speed, movement speed, armor. So Berserking is the optimal anointment. But you only anoint Berserking after you get Onslaught on your body armor from Essence of Insanity. Without that, you anoint Hatchet Master. But once you get the Essence of Insanity Onslaught, you anoint Berserking. And then going into the gear, a lot of this is pretty straightforward as well. Getting a high PDPS axe is, of course, really good. So this axe is not even that good. It's like 700 PDPS. If I had a better one, I would use it, but I just couldn't make a better one in SSF, so whatever. Helmet is just a rare that's just life and chaos res. Very simple. Try to get as much armor as you can. And then I'm using the shock implicit in conjunction with Soul of Garricon to get shock immune. And then the other one you can just get recoup, which is really good. Body armor is a royal plate for the optimal armor. And then I was actually doing some testing, and it turns out this Pride implicit is actually very important. And it's specifically Pride while a unique enemy is in your presence. Like this mod gives you 39% increased aura effective Pride when it matters, which is like bosses, right? So it's just super good. You also could do like just a normal one or like the pinnacle one, but I think the unique one is optimal because it works on everything that you need. It works on mercs, it works on pinnacles, map bosses, basically everything that you would need to kill fast, it helps you. So like I think this Pride mod, when a unique enemy is in your presence, is actually very important, which is not something that I thought about too much before, but it is really good and it gives you a lot of damage. Other than that, you can just get like a recoup implicit as well, which is fine. And then you just roll for like life armor. I guess if you had a really good like triple armor chest, then you would take the life mastery. That's like 15% life, and maybe you would not run recoup here. Wouldn't really matter. But because I had a life mod on there, I just decided to put recoup on there. In a perfect world, this would give you like 4,000 base armor, but mine was only 3,000, but whatever. And then getting PDR is also very important here. And then the most important thing though is the onslaught. This Essence of Insanity onslaught is like permanently up, and it allows you to change your anointment from Hatchet Master to Berserking. And also it allows you to take this Axe Mastery, 40% increased effective onslaught, which is like 8% AS and MS. So it's pretty good. It's just like 28% movement speed and attack speed always. Extremely good. And then glove, gotta get the additional strike on the implicit. In a perfect world, you would have like as much impale as possible. I think the optimal impale enchantment implicit is again very similar to the body armor. I think you want, while a unique enemy is in your presence, impale like 20 to 30%. that would be really optimal for damage, but I was too lazy to roll it, so it's just 5%. But yeah, other than that, it's just like life, attack speed, and then whatever else you can get. This build overall only has 45 impale, which is pretty sad, but the impale nodes are like so bad on the tree. Like, what is this? 2% AS, 5% impale. Like, the impale nodes are so bad that I don't even want to take them. So it's just whatever. The only one I take is Harpooner. And then you also get a little bit more impale chance here on this small node. And then if you had a weapon with like crafted impale chance and fizz damage, it would obviously be higher. And then again, getting the unique enemy impale implicit on the glove would help a lot too. So just in general, like the more impale chance, the better, but it can be hard to get, so it's whatever. But yeah, in my overall damage here, you can see that impale is like 2.5 mil of my DPS, but it could easily be like double that if I had like double my impale chance, right? So whatever. Anyway, then the boots is just whatever. Getting the action speed is very important because this 4% action speed is just straight up 4% more damage. Other than that, you can just go for life and res and whatever. And then it's also very important to get cannot be chilled on the boots. And then you can combo that with Arctic armor, which gives you immune to freeze. So you're immune to chill and freeze then, which is pretty good. So yeah. And then the endurance charge regen is like nice, but not mandatory. Then the amulet is just this turquoise for attributes. So I got pretty lucky on this one, and I got +1 fizz gems, which is actually kind of good. If you remove that mod, I can't even remove, well, I guess I could remove it like this. So like if I remove this, it's like minus 700k damage actually, which is kind of interesting. I did not originally intend to POB with +1 fizz gems, but ever since realizing that that is like so much damage, like 700k damage, I'm gonna start POBing that in my future Boneshatter POBs. So yeah, my advice is like try to get a turquoise amulet with +1 fizz gems, and then attributes and res and life. And then if you get super lucky, open prefix for minus cost, and I think that's optimal. So yeah, pretty good. And then you also have the rings. Optimally, you would have amethyst rings for chaos res, and then just do like harvest, reforge chaos, just like life chaos res minus cost, whatever. This ring I got off of a merc, and it just had like so much res on it that I just decided to use it, even though it's not amethyst. So whatever. And then this belt is also definitely not optimal. I don't think I need strength on a Berserker. So ideally it would be like a Stygian Vice, I think. And then use a jewel with like all res or something. But I mean, this thing rolled so good that I decided to just keep it. I also realized that you could craft Dex Int on belts, which really helps out your attributes a lot. So yeah, definitely a thing that you can do. But yeah, the optimal belt is like Chaos Res, Armor, Life, and I guess like crafted attributes or something like that. And then the flasks are just whatever. Granite, Basalt for armor, and then Quicksilver Quartz for mobility. Pretty straightforward. And that's basically it for the gear. And then the gems is even more straightforward. It's just normal Boneshatter. The aura setup is Arctic Armor, Pride, and then Flesh and Stone in Bloodstance. And then the merc is giving Determination. If you did not have a merc with Determination, you need to run Determination instead of Pride. That also raises some concerns for future Boneshatter POBs though. Because like without Pride, your damage goes down so much. But like without the merc, it's very difficult to get this. So yeah. Well, I guess without the merc, the monster would also have less HP, so it probably would have been fine as well. But yeah, Pride good. Pride good. And then yeah, everything's pretty straightforward, just 6-link Boneshatter. Blood Rage automation. I like automation because you don't have to think about it. Frostblink Leap Slam is mobility. And then War Banner is just like 20% more damage if you have it up. Not a big deal if you don't. CWDT Molten Shell. So this is actually a 4-link Molten Shell, which is definitely not ideal. I guess I could technically put vulnerability in here, like level 5 vulnerability, to have a little bit more uptime in mapping. So you might want to like cut the more duration for vuln level. Oh, you would not do this because you have a curse limit of 1. So yeah, just kidding. More duration is optimal. But yeah. And then because the merc has vuln, you run poacher's mark, and that gives you frenzy charges with quality. And then it's just poacher's mark, mark on hit, and then life tap, then you press berserk. Pretty straightforward. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that basically covers the build. And then I had Alira on just always. I guess, and then also like Pantheon, yeah. Pantheon is Solaris for the PDR, and then Garricon for the shock immunity with the helmet implicit as well. And Alira is just really good for capping res, so yeah, 1.15 res, good. And yeah, it's basically the whole build. 14 mil DPS Boneshatter this league. I'll put this POB in the description. This will probably be my final update on this build. I think it's like very hard to improve further than this. The big upgrade right now would just be to like get an axe that has more damage, but I think I also might just want to like move on to a new build now. So that's probably going to be it for Boneshatter for now. Yeah, POB will be in the description. Still not sure what build I want to play next. Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. Open to recommendations. But yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching the video.